Hey, Henry Gajone, known as Henry Live, the investigative reporter here in New York City, and also congressional candidate on a 13th congressional district here in New York. The video you're about to see is regards to opioid crisis. You're going to see people that are overdosed and seeing them almost dying, and seeing the first responders. We give thanks to God to the first responders, how they work and they just save people. But not only that, as a congressional candidate, I do plan, if I win, is to really tackle this hard and to get enough funding. It has touched my life. I have actually dealt with somebody close to me that almost died, and I had to be there, and thank God I was there with other family members. We were able to save their life with naloxone, Narcan they call it also, and it's to save people's lives that are overdosed on opioids or heroin overdose. So I do take this very serious, and I just want you to see this video. I dedicate this to all those families that they've lost people with overdose, but also to my special family member, close family member that is dealing with it, is doing good right now, but that person almost died on numerous occasions on an overdose. So thank you so much, and I dedicate this also to the first responders, police officers, EMT. They've done an incredible job and continue doing an incredible job. Thank you, God bless you, and so as you see this video, please spread it and let people know that we are dealing with an opioid crisis that is really killing a lot of Americans here in the United States. Every 19 minutes somebody dies of an opioid overdose. Thank you so much. God bless you. Henry Gajone again. Henry Live, the investigative reporter and also congressional candidate for the 13th congressional district here in New York. Thank you so much, and God bless.
The opioid epidemic has touched many families with often heartbreaking results. You or someone you care about may have experienced this firsthand. This video will teach you how to identify an opioid overdose, how to intervene, and how to use the various formulations of naloxone, such as Narcan, to reverse an opioid overdose. First, what do we mean by the term opioids? And how are opiates different than opioids? Both of these terms refer to the same basic category of drugs. The only difference is that opiates are naturally occurring from the poppy plant, and opioids are synthetically created in a laboratory. The term opioids will be used to cover both. Most people know that heroin is an illegal, dangerous, and highly addictive opioid. What many people aren't aware of are the dangers associated with prescription opioids or painkillers such as Oxycontin, Vicodin, and Percocet. These opioids can also be dangerous and can lead to abuse, dependence, addiction, overdose, and death. What happens when a person overdoses on opioids? The opioids bind to specific receptor sites in the brain and slow down breathing. As breathing diminishes, vital organs like the brain and heart don't get enough oxygen, and eventually the person will die. But this process often takes 1 to 3 hours, which means there is time to intervene. The medication for an opioid overdose is naloxone. The most common brand is Narcan. Naloxone blocks the effects of opioids by stealing the spot of the opioid at the brain receptor site. When the opioid is kicked out of the receptors, the person's breathing resumes while the naloxone lasts. However, naloxone is a short-acting medication and will last somewhere between 30 and 90 minutes, enough time for EMS to arrive and transport the person to a hospital for further medical care. When the naloxone wears off, the person could experience a re-overdose because the opioid is still circulating in their system and could reattach to the receptor sites and again slow down breathing. This is why it's important for the person to go to the hospital for monitoring, even after they've been revived. How do you identify an opioid overdose? First, the person may be unconscious, unresponsive, or minimally responsive. Due to the lack of oxygen, they will look blue or, depending on their coloring, gray or ashen, especially apparent around the lips and fingernails. Their breathing will be labored, less than 10 breaths a minute, or no breathing at all. They will have pinpoint pupils and sometimes they will make an odd snoring or gurgling sound. Often there is other evidence available. The person could be a known user, there could be pills or syringes laying around, or bystanders who witnessed what happened. The first step is to try and rouse the person by calling their name and shaking them. If you can get them up, walking around and talking, then the naloxone may not be necessary. Also, try using the sternum rub by making a fist and rubbing it hard up and down the person's sternum or breastbone. This causes pain, and generally, the person will respond if they can. If they don't respond, call 911 for a medical emergency. When you call 911 rescue breaths, even before you administer the naloxone, remember, it's the lack of oxygen that causes death. Rescue breathing is CPR without the chest compressions. Make sure the person is on their back on the floor. Open the airway by lifting the chin and tilting the head back. Make sure there is nothing in their throat that would block the airway. Begin by pinching their nose so the air you breathe in does not escape. Give 2 normal-sized breaths and then 1 breath every 5 seconds. After you give a few rounds of breathing, then you can administer the naloxone. Once the naloxone is given, continue with the rescue breaths until the person either revives or EMS arrives to take over. If there is more than one person, one can provide rescue breaths while the other administers them.
You all right?
Sorry, buddy.
Take some deep breaths, buddy. Watch rolling on your head.
You can clear the feet off those first. I'm heading up there. Pass 108 here, please.
108, pass. Keep his head on the side. He's going to throw us.
All right.
Choke on it.
Go get my Narcan out of there just in case. It's on my to-go bag, right on the top.
Real bad headache. I'm going to move my car so we get to him.
All right.
108.
You're all right, buddy. Back's on the way.
No.
You don't want her to throw up and get
Yeah, no.
Parked on the side of her. Yeah, parked on the side of her.
She's breathing. She's, come on, baby.
breathing?
Yeah, she's trying
That's
to.
not. She needs to get that stuff out there.
Yeah, she needs Narcan.
Do I know how to walk?
Who was she with?
I don't know. I seen her laying in the road. I got off the bus right in the middle of the street. That's my girlfriend's daughter. 2 breaths. Here, let
Come
her
on,
breathe.
girl.
She's got a
Come
breathe
on.
in her mouth.
Come hard. Breathe in. Go. Do your 2 breaths and I come.
And now what? Yeah. Alright, 30 compressions again.
How long she been down here?
About
They need to get
3
the
minutes.
ambulance
5
here
minutes.
real quick.
They better hurry up. She needs that Narcan ASAP.
Hard. Big breaths.
God,
Narcan.
Nar.
Here comes the ambulance, man.
It's Narcan.
Here comes the ambulance. No, not yet. It's coming.
Bring her back like that.
Come on,
Hurry
man.
up!
Come on, man. She's like gurgling.
She's trying to breathe.
2 more breaths.
Well, that ain't the fucking ambulance. That's the police. Well, he might have it though. He might have it. Cops are supposed to have it.
Okay.
You got Narcan?
Yeah. He's got
Yeah,
Narcan.
he got Narcan. That's what I said. He'll have it. All cops are supposed to have it.
There's an officer.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Here comes cop.
Oh my God, this shit is giving me the fucking chills, man.
Take a time in between. That's it. I feel it going in this time.
You videoing or something?
Okay.
He's coming with the Narcan.
All right.
Come on, girl.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Move away. I think I feel a pulse.
There's a pulse. There's a pulse.
Come on,
The
baby.
cop has Narcan, I believe.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Oh my God. Did she get out of a car or something? Were you walking? Oh, okay.
I have had a pulse when you were pulling up.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Pick her up and she fucking fell out.
Here come the ambulance. Oh God. She did have a pulse, and she was gargling and trying to breathe. Real faint, yeah. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, but we just hit her with.
Oh, you hit her with another one?
You got more than that.
More?
Nah, you're right. Get one milligram. Yeah,
He reacted when I do some sternum runs. His eyes rolled back his head. He was breathing. Yeah, I do. I don't know if he ingested anything.
There's a little medical alert tag or
No, nothing I say. He got rigid on me when I...
He's certainly signing up. How did you find him?
Well, I stopped him, he was fine.
Okay.
Came back to the car to give him his ticket. Headed back, turned a little blue like this.
You don't have an AED?
No, I don't. Want me to jump in?
Yeah, we should just go hard and fast.
Yep, I've done it before.
Yeah. Okay.
He's turning blue.
Yeah, we're just... Those are just agonals. Hold on just a second. He's got a pulse. Alright, come on.
When someone takes heroin, the drug locks onto receptors in the brain. It slows the body down. Lock up too many, and you stop breathing. Naloxone can free up those receptors, essentially bringing you back to life. You might wonder, that video of Liz, is that real?
Many must be wondering if these victims survived, and yes, they did. Thank you for the heroic efforts of these first responders and family members. Thank you so much for seeing this video, and hopefully you can spread this video and let's save a life. God bless you, and God bless those families that had to endure losing a loved one, and God bless those families and first responders as they deal with future addicts that are going through this and going through overdoses. God bless you. Henry Grillon here, running in the 13th Congressional District here in New York, and investigative reporter. God bless.